Eat beets? Avoid these 12 dangerous mistakes. Beet mistakes. Senior must know for many, the vibrant hue of beets conjures images of health and vitality, leading them to enthusiastically incorporate these earthy roots into their salads and smoothies, believing they are making one of the most health-conscious choices available. This perception has been cultivated for decades, with beets widely lauded as a superfood, and rightly so. These ruby-red treasures are brimming with compounds that offer remarkable benefits, particularly for seniors aiming to bolster their cardiovascular health, enhance cognitive function, and maintain sustained energy levels. At the core of their power are natural nitrates, which play a crucial role in relaxing and widening blood vessels, thereby promoting improved circulation and helping to regulate blood pressure. Furthermore, beets are a rich source of betalains, the very pigments responsible for their striking color, which function as potent antioxidants. These compounds are instrumental in combating inflammation, supporting liver function, and may even contribute to reducing the risk of certain cancers. The nutritional profile is further enriched by substantial amounts of fiber, folate, potassium, iron, and magnesium, making beets a truly comprehensive vegetable capable of supporting a vast array of bodily systems. However, despite their impressive nutritional credentials, a surprising reality emerges. Many individuals are not fully harnessing the potential benefits of beets. In fact, subtle errors in the preparation, cooking, or storage of beets can inadvertently diminish their health-giving properties, and in some instances, even pose risks to well-being. Imagine the irony of a beet smoothie intended to stabilize blood sugar, inadvertently causing a spike, or the unintentional discarding of the very parts of the beet that hold its most concentrated nutrients. This is precisely why this video aims to illuminate 12 common missteps seniors encounter when consuming beets, offering clear guidance on how to circumvent them. Some of these errors are subtle, while mistake number 2, in particular, is poised to be genuinely astonishing. Therefore, whether you are already a beet enthusiast or are considering incorporating them into your diet for enhanced energy, improved circulation, and greater longevity, we urge you to stay with us until the end. You will not only gain insights into unlocking their complete health potential, but also learn about the specific individuals who should exercise caution when enjoying them. Before we delve into the specifics, we would greatly appreciate your support. Please take a moment to hit the like button to empower our channel and subscribe to Ageless Vitality for a continuous stream of natural health tips tailored specifically for individuals over 60. Additionally, if you desire more content like this, please type yes in the comments section. Now, let us commence with mistake number 12. Mistake number 12 involves the unfortunate habit of discarding the beet peel. A significant number of seniors remain unaware that by peeling their beets, they are inadvertently disposing of one of the most nutrient-dense components of the entire vegetable. This thin, sometimes soil-dusted skin is far more than just a protective covering. It is a concentrated repository of some of the highest levels of antioxidants and fiber. The vibrant betalain pigments, which lend beets their characteristic deep red color, are particularly abundant in the layers closest to the skin. These potent compounds play a vital role in supporting liver detoxification processes, mitigating inflammation, soothing aching joints, and shielding blood vessels from the ravages of oxidative stress, the very force that accelerates cellular aging. By peeling, a substantial portion of these crucial protective antioxidants is lost before they even have a chance to reach your digestive system. Furthermore, we must not overlook the critical role of fiber. Seniors are often more susceptible to issues such as sluggish digestion, fluctuations in blood sugar levels, and the accumulation of cholesterol. The beet peel is an exceptional source of dietary fiber, which is essential for promoting healthy gut flora, inducing a sustained feeling of fullness, and regulating the rate at which the natural sugars present in beets are absorbed into the bloodstream. Without the peel, a simple and effective means of achieving energy balance and safeguarding cardiovascular health is forsaken. The recommended approach is refreshingly straightforward. Instead of peeling, opt for scrubbing. A thorough rinse under running water, accompanied by the use of a vegetable brush, effectively removes any dirt without compromising the integrity of the nutrient-rich skin. Once cooked, the peel naturally softens and seamlessly integrates with the flesh of the beet, rendering it virtually unnoticeable to most palates. Even if the texture is a minor concern, the peel can be easily slipped off after cooking, at which point fewer nutrients will have been lost. The overarching lesson here is to break the habit of peeling beets. By retaining the skin, you not only save time in the kitchen, but also preserve the full nutritional power of the beet, ensuring your body receives the vital antioxidants and fiber it so urgently requires, especially as you navigate your senior years. Mistake number 11 centers on the failure to utilize seasonings. Let's be candid. Have you ever sampled plain boiled beets and mused, "This tastes rather earthy"? You are certainly not alone. Many seniors tend to dismiss beets as bland or uninteresting simply because they overlook a fundamental secret. Beets thrive when paired with complementary ingredients that unlock their inherent sweetness and amplify their nutritional potency. The scientific rationale is quite compelling. Beets are naturally endowed with nitrates, fiber, and antioxidants. However, to fully realize their therapeutic potential, they must be accompanied by elements that enhance absorption and create a harmonious flavor profile. When consumed without seasoning, beets can indeed present as dull and unremarkable, leading to their marginalization and the forfeiture of their remarkable healing capabilities. A judicious splash of lemon juice or balsamic vinegar accomplishes more than just elevating the taste. The acidity aids your body in more effectively absorbing the iron present in beets, thereby combating fatigue and bolstering healthy circulation. A drizzle of olive oil introduces beneficial fats that facilitate the absorption of fat-soluble antioxidants, such as beta-carotene, from the beet. This is particularly important for maintaining ocular health, skin integrity, and cardiovascular well-being as one ages. Herbs like dill, thyme, or rosemary not only contribute aromatic qualities, but also introduce additional polyphenol plant compounds that work synergistically with the betalains in beets to quell inflammation and support joint health. Even when incorporating beets into smoothies, a touch of ginger or citrus can yield transformative results. Ginger introduces anti-inflammatory compounds that beautifully complement the circulation-boosting nitrates of beets, while citrus brightens the overall flavor and assists in stabilizing blood pressure. The fundamental takeaway is that beets were never intended to be eaten in their unadorned state. With the judicious application of seasonings, you can elevate them from a mere vegetable to a superfood powerhouse that not only delights your taste buds, but also delivers maximum health benefits. Mistake number 10 concerns the selection of old, wrinkled beets. Upon entering any grocery store, one is often presented with a variety of beets, differing in size and appearance. Some are firm and radiant, while others appear soft, wrinkled, and dull. The stark reality is that choosing the latter can significantly diminish the intake of essential nutrients that are particularly vital for individuals over the age of 60. Freshness is paramount. A firm beet with taut skin and a deep, rich coloration is indicative of its abundance in vitamin C, folate, potassium, and antioxidants like betalains. These nutrients are instrumental in safeguarding heart health, promoting optimal blood circulation, and fortifying the immune system. Conversely, once a beet begins to shrivel, it is not solely the texture and taste that are compromised. The nutrient levels embark on a rapid decline. Vitamin C, for instance, is highly susceptible to environmental factors such as air and light exposure, and it is among the first compounds to break down in older, wrinkled beets. Consequently, rather than contributing to collagen production and combating inflammation, an aged beet might offer little more than inert fiber. Beyond nutritional considerations, as beets lose moisture over time, their flesh can become woody, dry, and bland, rendering them significantly less palatable. Seniors who rely on softer, easily chewable foods may find aged beets unpleasant and more challenging to digest. thereby missing valuable opportunities for nourishment. The art of selecting the optimal beets involves a few key principles. Always opt for beets that are small to medium in size, as they tend to be sweeter and more tender. The skin should be smooth, devoid of sagging or cracks. If the greens are still attached, they should be crisp and vibrant, never wilted or yellowish. Upon bringing beets home, promptly detach the greens, leaving approximately an inch of stem to prevent moisture loss from the root. Store your beets unwashed in the refrigerator's crisper drawer, ideally within a breathable bag. With appropriate storage, fresh beets can maintain their peak nutritional integrity for up to 3 weeks. The overarching message is that old, wrinkled beets are more than just visually unappealing. They are a clear signal that the antioxidants and vitamins crucial for healthy aging are diminishing. Treat beets with the respect they deserve as a powerful superfood by selecting them when they are fresh, firm, and vibrant. Your heart, circulatory system, and energy reserves will undoubtedly express their gratitude. Mistake number 9 is the act of discarding the beet greens. The typical approach upon bringing home a bunch of beets involves severing the leafy tops and consigning them to the trash without a second thought. However, the revelation that follows is quite striking. By discarding beet greens, you are effectively throwing away one of the most nutrient-dense portions of the entire plant. Beet greens are, in essence, a hidden superfood, readily available yet often overlooked. On a gram-for-gram basis, they can even surpass spinach or kale in nutritional value. They are exceptionally rich in vitamin K, calcium, iron, and magnesium, nutrients that are vital for bone health, blood pressure regulation, and muscle strength. Furthermore, they are abundant in vitamins A and C, which play crucial roles in supporting vision, maintaining healthy skin, and bolstering immune function. For seniors, these benefits are far from trivial. Vitamin K, for example, plays a critical role in preventing the dangerous accumulation of calcium in the arteries while simultaneously directing this calcium to the bones where it is needed. Magnesium, a mineral that a significant portion of adults over 60 are deficient in, is essential for proper nerve conduction, maintaining a regular heart rhythm, and supporting the activity of collagen enzymes. The advantages do not cease there. Beet greens are packed with antioxidants and dietary fiber, contributing to their potent anti-inflammatory properties and ensuring smooth digestive function. Unlike the beetroot itself, which contains natural sugars, the greens are remarkably low in calories and carbohydrates, making them an ideal choice for individuals who are managing their blood sugar levels or are conscious of their weight. So, how can these versatile greens be incorporated into one's diet? Consider their versatility. Sauté them with garlic and olive oil for a simple, mineral-rich side dish. Incorporate them into soups, stews, or omelets to enhance the nutritional content of your meals. Blend them into smoothies with banana or pineapple for an invigorating green energy boost. Or chop them raw and add them to salads, particularly the younger, more tender leaves, which possess a mild and slightly sweet flavor. The key to preparing beet greens effectively is thorough washing, as they can sometimes harbor grit. It is advisable to store them separately from the root in your refrigerator, wrapped in a bag along with a paper towel to absorb excess moisture, and to consume them within 2 to 3 days for optimal freshness. The fundamental conclusion is that if you are discarding beet greens, you are literally consigning vital nutrients to the trash. Seniors require every possible advantage to fortify their bones, protect their hearts, and enhance their immune systems, and beet greens represent a powerful complementary benefit that comes attached to the root. It is time to reframe them not as culinary scraps, but as a health-boosting gift. Mistake number 8 involves neglecting salt during the cooking process. While it might seem almost too elementary, one of the most prevalent errors associated with beet preparation occurs long before the first bite is taken, boiling or steaming them in plain water without the addition of salt. At first glance, this practice appears innocuous, especially given the negative press salt has often received. However, when it comes to cooking beets, omitting salt is a detrimental oversight that compromises both their flavor and their nutritional impact. The reason for this is quite specific. Salt functions as more than just a surface seasoning. It actively draws out and intensifies the beet's inherent earthy sweetness from within. Consider the analogy of pasta. Would anyone ever boil it in unseasoned water? Evidently not. The same principle applies with equal force to beets. When salt is omitted during the cooking phase, the resulting vegetable is often bland, flat-tasting, and fails to achieve its full potential. Yet, the sensory aspect is only one part of the equation. Cooking beets in lightly salted water actually contributes to preserving their texture and enhancing nutrient absorption. Sodium ions penetrate the beet cells, helping to maintain their firmness and facilitating the body's more efficient utilization of electrolytes, such as potassium and magnesium, which beets naturally contain in abundance. These minerals are particularly crucial for seniors, playing vital roles in blood pressure regulation, muscle function, and nerve health. Scientific evidence supports this assertion. Studies indicate that properly seasoned cooking water not only amplifies flavor, but also prevents the excessive leaching of vitamins into the cooking liquid. This translates to a greater retention of folate, vitamin C, and betalains, the antioxidants responsible for the beet's characteristic deep red color and its efficacy in combating inflammation and oxidative stress. The question then arises, what constitutes an adequate amount of salt? A heavy hand is not necessary. A mere 1/2 to 1 teaspoon per pot of water is sufficient to transform the final dish. Furthermore, for individuals who are monitoring their sodium intake, the use of Himalayan pink salt or sea salt in moderation can be a beneficial alternative. These natural salts contain trace minerals like magnesium, calcium, and potassium, which can provide an additional nutritional advantage without overwhelming the system. The fundamental conclusion is that neglecting salt during the cooking of beets does not merely result in a bland product, it diminishes their inherent potential. By seasoning them early in the cooking process, you unlock their natural sweetness, preserve key nutrients, and lay the groundwork for a delicious and health-protective meal that supports your heart, brain, and joints. Mistake number 7 entails the regrettable practice of wasting the liquid from canned beets. If you have ever opened a can of beets and unthinkingly poured the dark red liquid down the drain, be assured you are not alone. However, the startling truth is that in doing so, you are discarding a potent source of nutrients that your body critically needs, especially as you advance in age. That vibrant crimson liquid is far from mere colored water. It is exceptionally rich in betalains, the very same antioxidants that impart beets with their distinctive hue. These compounds have been scientifically validated for their ability to reduce oxidative stress, aid in liver detoxification, and even help to decrease inflammation in tissues that are prone to stiffness and discomfort. Consider them as microscopic guardians for your joints, blood vessels, and nerves. And the benefits extend even further. The canning process naturally facilitates the leaching of essential minerals such as potassium, folate, and magnesium into the liquid. Potassium is vital for regulating heart rhythm and blood pressure. Folate is crucial for healthy red blood cell production and optimal brain function. Magnesium plays a key role in keeping muscles relaxed and bones strong. These are precisely the minerals that seniors often struggle to obtain in sufficient quantities. By discarding this liquid, you are, in effect, pouring away a natural supplement in disguise. Now, you may harbor concerns about the sodium content. Indeed, some canned beet liquids may contain added salt, particularly those packed in brine. However, the benefits can still outweigh the potential risks if the liquid is utilized judiciously. By simply adjusting the overall seasoning of your meal, omitting extra table salt, and balancing with fresh herbs or lemon juice, you can still achieve a net nutritional gain. Even better, whenever possible, opt for low sodium or no salt added canned varieties to maximize the nutritional value. So, how can this liquid gold be harnessed? The possibilities are virtually limitless. It can serve as a nutrient-rich base for soups, adding both nourishment and a visually appealing color to vegetable or bean soups. It can be incorporated into smoothies, blended with berries, yogurt, or greens for a heart-healthy shake. It can form the foundation of salad dressings, whisked with olive oil, balsamic vinegar, and garlic for a naturally sweet vinaigrette. It can be mixed into hummus or other dips, contributing both color and antioxidant power. Even in baking, a splash can be used in bread, pancakes, or brownies to impart a subtle earthy note and an extra nutritional boost. The overarching message is that discarding the liquid from canned beets is akin to throwing away free medicine for your heart, brain, and joints. Instead, embrace its potential. With a touch of creativity, this ruby red liquid can elevate ordinary dishes into meals that support collagen production, enhance circulation, and promote a sense of thriving well into your senior years. Mistake number 6 is neglecting to blanch canned beets. Have you ever opened a can of beets, taken a bite, and detected a peculiar metallic or slightly tinny taste? Rest assured, there is nothing amiss with your senses. That unusual flavor is one of the most common repercussions of the canning process. While it may not be inherently dangerous, it can undeniably detract from the enjoyment of your meal and discourage the regular consumption of beets. Even more significantly, many individuals are unaware that this metallic undertone can also obscure the natural sweetness and earthy richness that define beets as a superfood. The scientific explanation is rooted in the canning procedure itself. Canned beets are sealed within metal containers, often accompanied by a preservation brine. Over time, minute elements from the can and the preservation methods can interact with the beet pigments, subtly altering their flavor profile. Seniors, who often possess a more heightened sensitivity to taste variations, may perceive this metallic tang more acutely. This off-putting taste does not merely diminish your enjoyment, it can also lead to a reduced likelihood of incorporating beets into your regular diet, thereby causing you to miss out on their manifold benefits for the heart, brain, and circulatory system. Fortunately, there exists a simple 1-minute solution: blanching. By briefly immersing your canned beets in gently boiling water for a mere 1 to 2 minutes, you effectively rinse away the residual metallic elements and instantly restore their natural flavor. Following this brief blanching, the inherent earthy sweetness resurfaces, any bitterness dissipates, and suddenly your canned beets taste remarkably fresh, closely approximating the flavor of roasted or steamed beets directly from the garden. Furthermore, you can rest assured that this rapid blanching process does not significantly deplete their nutritional value. The majority of the fiber, folate, potassium, and antioxidant-rich betalains remain intact. You are essentially removing the lingering aftertaste from the canning process, rendering the beets considerably more palatable and satisfying. Consider the intended use of the beets. For salads, where metallic notes are most noticeable when beets are consumed cold, blanching is an essential step before slicing them. For roasting or sautéing, even if further cooking is planned, a quick blanching will profoundly enhance the final flavor. For smoothies, eliminating any hint of bitterness ensures that your beet-based concoction tastes vibrant and invigorating rather than unpleasantly metallic. The fundamental takeaway is that skipping the blanching step is an error that deprives you of the full enjoyment and motivation to consume beets. Dedicating an extra minute will unlock all their natural sweetness, color, and health benefits without the disconcerting metallic aftertaste. Mistake number 5 is the outright avoidance of canned beets. A pervasive misconception holds that only fresh beets possess genuine health benefits, leading many to assume that canned varieties are inferior in nutrition or even detrimental, prompting their complete exclusion from the diet. However, the reality is quite different. If you have been shying away from canned beets, you might be missing out on one of the most convenient, yet still highly nutritious avenues for reaping the full health advantages of this remarkable superfood. Let us clarify this with scientific evidence. Numerous studies have demonstrated that a significant proportion of the fiber, folate, potassium, potassium, iron, and antioxidants like betalains are preserved throughout the canning process. These are precisely the compounds responsible for beets' well-documented ability to lower blood pressure, enhance circulation, and reduce inflammation. Indeed, for busy seniors or in situations where fresh beets are not readily available, canned versions can serve as a reliable and surprisingly effective alternative. So, why does canned produce sometimes carry a less than stellar reputation? The actual issue rarely lies with the beet itself, but rather with the sodium content that is frequently added during the canning process. Some brands pack their beets in brine, which can introduce several hundred milligrams of salt per serving. For seniors who are managing blood pressure, cardiovascular health, or kidney function, this additional sodium can be a source of concern. Fortunately, there is a simple solution. Rinse your canned beets under cool water before consumption. This practice effectively removes much of the excess sodium without compromising their natural sweetness or texture. An even more advantageous approach is to actively seek out brands labeled as low sodium or no salt added, which are becoming increasingly accessible and empower you to control the seasoning. Furthermore, let us not overlook the sheer convenience factor. Fresh beets can require an hour or more for roasting or steaming. Canned beets, in contrast, are pre-cooked and ready for immediate use. They can be sliced directly into salads, providing instant color and nutritional value. They can be blended into smoothies for a quick energy boost. They can be gently warmed with herbs and olive oil for a swift side dish. They can be added to soups, stews, or even hummus to enhance both flavor and nutrient content. By eschewing canned beets entirely, you might be inadvertently cutting yourself off from an easy, affordable, and potent method of nourishing your body. This is particularly true after the age of 60, when dietary consistency is often more critical than perfection, and canned beets can help you maintain this superfood in your weekly regimen without undue effort. The bottom line is to avoid the mistake of dismissing canned beets out of hand. Employ wise handling practices. Rinse them, season them appropriately, and store them correctly. When these simple steps are followed, they can deliver nearly the same health benefits as their fresh counterparts, but with significantly less time and effort involved. Mistake number 4 is limiting beet preparation solely to boiling. If boiling represents the only method you have employed for preparing beets, then you have inadvertently been deprived of their true culinary and nutritional potential. While boiling is undeniably one of the most commonplace cooking techniques, relying on it exclusively constitutes an error that robs you of both flavor and nutritional richness. The underlying reason for this is quite straightforward. Beets are inherently rich in water-soluble vitamins and minerals, such as vitamin C, folate, and certain potent antioxidants. When you immerse them in a pot of boiling water, a considerable portion of these valuable nutrients leaches out into the surrounding liquid. Unless you have a specific intention of consuming the beet-infused water, which, let us be honest, is an uncommon practice for most individuals, you are effectively pouring a significant amount of nutrients directly down the drain. Furthermore, the matter of taste is equally important. Boiling often results in beets with a soft, at times mushy, texture and a notably muted flavor. Instead of the sweet, earthy richness for which they are renowned, boiled beets can present as flat and uninspiring. It is no wonder, then, that some individuals mistakenly believe they do not enjoy beets. They have, in fact, only ever experienced them in their boiled form. So, what are the more beneficial alternatives? The answer lies in diversifying your cooking methods and exploring the distinct characteristics of this powerhouse root. Roasting offers a superb option. After scrubbing your beets and, crucially, leaving the skins intact, wrap them in foil or place them in a covered dish and roast them at approximately 400 degrees, 200 degrees CC. This method effectively concentrates their natural sugars, leading to a caramelized sweetness and a firmer, more satisfying texture. Grilling presents another excellent avenue. Slice your beets into rounds, lightly brush them with olive oil, and grill them. This technique imparts a delightful smoky depth while maintaining the tenderness and juiciness of the flesh. Pairing grilled beets with fresh herbs or a light vinaigrette can further enhance their flavor profile. Steaming represents a gentler cooking method that is more effective at preserving nutrients than boiling. Steaming helps beets retain their firmness and vibrant color while safeguarding their antioxidant content. Even eating them raw is a viable and highly nutritious option. Grated or spiralized into salads, raw beets offer a delightful crunch and a subtle sweetness while retaining 100% of their vitamin content. Raw beets are also excellent in slaws or when blended into smoothies. Juicing, often in combination with other fruits and vegetables like carrots, apples, or ginger, yields a nutrient-dense tonic that delivers nitrates, antioxidants, and readily accessible energy directly into your system. By limiting yourself to boiling, you are not only dulling their inherent flavor, but also inadvertently discarding many of their health-promoting benefits. Beets stand out as one of the most versatile vegetables available, and experimenting with different preparation methods ensures that your meals remain exciting and that your body receives all the necessary elements for optimal thriving. Mistake number 3 is improper storage. You might not realize it, but the way you store your beets can significantly impact both their freshness and their nutritional value. Many people bring beets home from the market, place them directly into the refrigerator as they are, and then tend to forget about them until it is too late. By that point, the roots have become shriveled, the greens have wilted, and a substantial portion of their vital nutrients has quietly dissipated. The scientific explanation for this phenomenon is that beets, even after harvest, remain living organisms. If the greens are left attached, they continue to draw moisture and essential minerals from the root to sustain themselves. This process is precisely why your beets begin to appear soft, rubbery, and lifeless after just a few days. Concurrently, exposure to air, heat, and light accelerates the degradation of delicate vitamins such as vitamin C and folate. Therefore, what constitutes the correct method for storing beets? The key steps involve immediate trimming of the greens. It is advisable to leave approximately 1 inch of the stem attached to the root itself to prevent the beet from bleeding, but the leafy tops should be stored separately. A valuable insider tip is not to discard these greens, as they are a treasure trove of nutrition, a point we will elaborate on later. It is also recommended to refrigerate the beets unwashed. The natural layer of dirt acts as a protective barrier, so it is best to avoid scrubbing your beets until you are preparing to cook them. Place them in a breathable produce bag or a container lined with a paper towel in the crisper drawer of your refrigerator. When stored in this manner, fresh beets can remain viable for up to 3 weeks. For cooked beets, airtight storage is paramount. Once cooked, transfer them to airtight glass containers and refrigerate them for a period of up to 5 days. Beyond this time frame, the risk of bacterial proliferation increases and their flavor profile will likely deteriorate. For long-term preservation, freezing is an excellent option. If you have purchased an excess of beets, do not let them go to waste. Boil or roast them, allow them to cool completely, then peel, slice, or cube them, and finally freeze them in robust freezer bags. They will remain suitable for consumption for 6 to 8 months while still retaining a significant portion of their antioxidants and minerals. And let us not forget the greens. Store them separately in a bag with a paper towel to absorb any excess moisture, and aim to use them within 2 to 3 days for the best taste and nutritional benefits. The overarching takeaway is that poor storage practices equate to wasted money, wasted food, and a loss of valuable nutrients. By trimming, separating, and storing your beets correctly, you will ensure they remain fresher, sweeter, and far more nutritious, guaranteeing that you always have this potent vegetable readily available to support your heart health, cognitive function, and circulatory system. Mistake number 2 is the failure to incorporate beets into desserts. When the topic of beets arises, the typical mental associations often revolve around earthy salads, hearty roasted vegetable medleys, or perhaps a revitalizing glass of beet juice. However, the surprising truth is that confining beets solely to savory culinary applications represents a significant oversight, one that deprives you of one of their most versatile and delectable uses. Beets possess a natural sweetness, a pleasing moisture content, and a deep, captivating color, all of which render them an exemplary ingredient for baked goods and desserts. Yet, a considerable number of seniors and home cooks tend to dismiss this concept, operating under the assumption that vegetables have no place in sweet preparations. This limiting mindset inadvertently costs you both in terms of flavor enhancement and nutritional enrichment. Here is why beets truly shine in dessert creations. Their inherent sweetness and moisture content are invaluable. Pureed or grated beets contribute a subtle, earthy sweetness and effectively lock in moisture, resulting in cakes, brownies, or muffins that are rich, tender, and decadent, often requiring less sugar or oil. They provide a nutrient boost in every bite. Unlike refined sugars, beets bring along a host of beneficial nutrients, including folate, iron, fiber, vitamin C, and the aforementioned antioxidants, betalains, which are responsible for their vibrant red hue. These pigments not only imbue your desserts with a beautiful aesthetic, but also play a role in combating inflammation and supporting the body's detoxification pathways. Beets are also chocolate's secret partner. When paired with cocoa, the flavor synergy is remarkable. The bitterness of the cocoa elegantly balances the sweetness of the beets, while the beets, in turn, intensify the richness of the chocolate. Most individuals will be unable to detect the presence of vegetables hidden within their treats, instead simply remarking that it is the finest chocolate cake they have ever tasted. They serve as a smarter sugar swap. By substituting a portion of the refined sugar in a recipe with beet puree, you effectively lower the overall glycemic load. This translates to gentler blood sugar responses, a factor of particular importance for seniors managing prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. Practical applications for using beets in desserts are abundant. For beet brownies or cake, blend cooked beets into a smooth puree and fold it into your batter, yielding a moist, rich, and nutrient-dense outcome. For beet muffins or pancakes, grated raw beets blend beautifully into batters, introducing subtle sweetness and a vibrant color. In smoothies and puddings, a spoonful of beet puree can transform ordinary concoctions into visually stunning, antioxidant-rich treats. They also serve as a natural food dye. If you desire pink frosting or red velvet cupcakes without resorting to artificial dyes, beet juice offers a natural and healthy alternative. The fundamental conclusion is that if your consumption of beets has been limited to salads or soups, you are experiencing only half of their story. Beets are nature's generous gift to dessert enthusiasts, providing a means to indulge your sweet cravings while simultaneously nourishing your bones, heart, and circulatory system. Therefore, avoid the trap of believing that beets are merely a side dish. They are also the clandestine ingredient capable of transforming desserts into creations that are both indulgent and exceptionally healthy. Mistake number 1, and arguably the most perilous, is the consumption of expired canned beets. Among all the missteps individuals make concerning beets, this one carries the most significant health risks. While it may seem self-evident, a considerable number of seniors unknowingly consume canned beets that have surpassed their expiration date, leading to potentially serious, even life-threatening consequences. The reasoning behind this is critical. Cans do not possess indefinite shelf life. Many people operate under the false assumption that canned foods are preserved indefinitely. This is not the case. Over time, even hermetically sealed cans begin to deteriorate. The protective lining within the can can degrade, allowing chemical substances to leach into the food. Even more concerning is the possibility of compromised seals, even if subtly so, which can permit bacteria to infiltrate the contents. One of the most feared bacterial culprits is Clostridium botulinum, the bacterium responsible for botulism, a rare but potentially fatal form of food poisoning. It is imperative to be vigilant for warning signs. Never overlook bulging cans, the presence of deep rust, severe dents along the seams, or any evidence of leaks. These are unmistakable indicators that oxygen and bacteria have already breached the can's integrity. Even if the exterior of the can appears intact, pay close attention when you open it. A loud hissing sound, bubbling liquid, or an offensive odor are all definitive signs that the contents have spoiled, and here lies the cardinal rule. Never taste test to ascertain spoilage. A single bite could expose you to dangerous toxins. Following opening, specific rules apply. Once a can of beets has been opened, a countdown to spoilage begins. Leaving the remaining beets in the original metal can accelerate their degradation, as air can react with the exposed metal. Instead, always transfer any leftover beets into a sealed glass container or a BPA-free plastic container and refrigerate them promptly. Under these conditions, they will remain safe to consume for approximately 3 to 5 days. Beyond this period, it is essential to discard them without exception. Safe storage guidelines for unopened cans include keeping them in a cool, dark pantry, away from direct sunlight, heat sources, or excessive humidity. Implement a stock rotation system to ensure that older cans are used first, particularly if you maintain a supply of both fresh and canned beets. The unequivocal truth is that no beet, however nutritious, is worth jeopardizing your health. Foodborne illnesses can have devastating repercussions for seniors, whose immune systems are often more compromised. The bottom line is to respect expiration dates meticulously. Inspect all canned goods carefully, and when in doubt, err on the side of caution and discard them. Beets have the potential to be one of the most powerful foods for enhancing circulation, supporting liver function, and promoting overall vitality, but this is only true if they are fresh, safe, and have been stored and handled appropriately. Now, let us address the question of who should exercise caution when consuming beets. Beets are frequently extolled as one of nature's miracle vegetables, rich in nitrates, antioxidants, and fiber, all of which are instrumental in supporting circulation, boosting energy levels, and facilitating detoxification. However, much like many potent foods, they are not universally suitable for everyone. For specific groups of individuals, an excessive intake of beets can unfortunately result in more harm than good. Firstly, individuals with a history of kidney stones should exercise prudence. Beets are naturally high in oxalates, which are compounds that can bind with calcium in the body. For those who are predisposed to kidney stones, particularly oxalate-based stones, this can heighten the risk of painful recurrences. If you have previously experienced kidney stones, it is advisable to moderate your beet consumption or consult with your healthcare provider before making them a regular component of your diet. Maintaining adequate hydration can also help mitigate the risk if you choose to enjoy them occasionally. Secondly, individuals with naturally low blood pressure should be mindful. The very nitrates that render beets potent blood pressure. Lowering foods can have an adverse effect if your blood pressure is already on the lower side. Nitrates cause blood vessels to widen, further reducing blood pressure, which may lead to symptoms such as dizziness, lightheadedness, or even fainting. If you are already managing your blood pressure with medication, combining it with a high beet diet could amplify the effect excessively. Therefore, careful monitoring of your blood pressure readings is essential. Thirdly, seniors who are managing diabetes or blood sugar levels should be aware. Beets, particularly when cooked or juiced, contain natural sugars that can lead to a more pronounced rise in blood glucose levels. While they are not entirely off limits, portion control is of paramount importance. Pairing beets with a source of protein, fiber, or healthy fats, such as beans, nuts, or avocado, can aid in slowing absorption and preventing abrupt spikes. For seniors striving to maintain stable glucose levels, this simple strategy can make a significant difference. Lastly, individuals with specific medication concerns should consult their physician. Due to their impact on blood pressure, circulation, and blood sugar, beets may interact with certain medications, including blood pressure pills, diabetes drugs, or even blood thinners. While such interactions are not exceedingly common, they can potentially render medications either overly potent or less effective. A brief consultation with your healthcare provider will ensure you are proceeding safely. The overarching conclusion is that while beets are an exceptional superfood for the majority of people, context is crucial. If you fall into any of the aforementioned categories: kidney stone sufferers, individuals with low blood pressure, those managing diabetes, or anyone taking sensitive medications, it does not necessarily mean you must avoid beets entirely. However, it is prudent to consume them in moderation and pair them strategically. When handled with wisdom, beets can still provide you with increased energy, circulatory support, and protection against oxidative stress without tipping the balance against your overall health. In conclusion, let us summarize what we have learned today. Beets are, without question, one of the most potent superfoods that nature offers. They are rich in nitrates, which are essential for healthy circulation, packed with antioxidants that support cellular repair, and abundant in fiber that promotes digestive well-being. Consequently, they possess the remarkable ability to lower blood pressure, sharpen cognitive function, and energize the body. However, the crucial truth is that superfoods can only deliver their promised benefits if they are consumed and prepared correctly. The 12 mistakes we have identified today, ranging from peeling away the most nutrient-rich layer of the beet to discarding its valuable greens, neglecting freshness, and even consuming expired canned varieties, can subtly diminish the benefits you are expecting. Worse still, for some seniors, these errors can pose genuine health risks. By implementing small, thoughtful adjustments, such as keeping the peel on, seasoning them judiciously, storing them properly, exploring new cooking methods, and even experimenting with beet-infused desserts, you can unlock the full spectrum of this vibrant root's potential. Furthermore, for individuals who experience kidney stones, have low blood pressure, or are concerned about blood sugar levels, moderation and intelligent pairing ensure that beets remain both safe and beneficial. Here is your ageless vitality takeaway. Aging with strength is not about drastic overhauls. It is about consistency and awareness. Every time you prepare a beet in the correct manner, you are making an investment in healthier circulation, stronger bones, and a body that feels lighter, cleaner, and more vibrant. Now, we would genuinely love to hear from you. Have you inadvertently been making one of these beet-related mistakes? And which correction are you most excited to implement first? Perhaps it will be saving the greens or opting for roasting over boiling. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Your insights may serve to inspire another member of our community to make a healthier choice. If you found this video beneficial, please give it a like, share it with a friend or family member who frequently consumes beets, and ensure you subscribe to Ageless Vitality for ongoing science-backed tips designed to help you thrive after 60. Remember, health is not constructed in a single day. It is built one bite, one habit, one mindful choice at a time. Together, we will continue to forge a future characterized by strength, clarity, and sustained vitality. Remain strong, remain wise, and remain vibrant. We eagerly anticipate seeing you in our next video.